Morning, everyone. Welcome back to Morning Brews on Tottenham on Tour. On today's show, Tottenham release a new kit, clubs find a PSR loophole, and Scotland get knocked out of Euro 2024. Stay tuned here. Welcome back to Tottenham on Tour, your world-famous morning news and brews and clues show with myself, the Kauff, and of course the Roadman, Mr. David. How you doing this morning, sir?
Yeah, I'm good. It's absolutely cooking outside,
Yeah.
roasting. I went for the school run, and I was dying. Honestly, I'm not built for this weather. Too much hair and too much fat.
Yeah. It's going to be a scorcher of a week, David. 27 degrees the first 2 days and 28 on Wednesday, I believe. So it's going to be a bit of a scorcher this week. And before anyone, I know we've got people all around the world saying 27, that's nothing. UK heat hits differently. I've been all over the world. I've been to Italy, I've been to Canada, I've been to the United States, I've been to Florida, I've been all over the world, and I've been totally fine in 35, 36, 38 degree heat. UK heat feels different. There is something awful about it, and I can't put my finger on it. It's not the humidity, it's something about where we live. It feels awful. But let's see who's in the audience this morning, David, to see who is here. We got Mr. Sweden, YouTube member, Mr. Tony Rodriguez. Good to see you. We got the number one Agenbar in the world saying, morning. I hate Mondays. Fair play to you, mate. Fair play to you. We got Andrew Gregory, YouTube member, saying, morning, Ben, David, and everyone on this sunny day. It's good to see you. It's a nice sunny day. We have Radiated from the Guardians of the Pombo. So Scotland last night was funnier than one of those Southgate waistcoat things. Okay. We'll get to it. John Rasher's in the house. We got Fran, YouTube member. We got Flower Power. Mr. Flowers, good to see you, mate. Hopefully you're well. We got Emsies in the house singing the song about Scotland going home.
Mm-hmm.
We got Anurag saying cheers from India. Morning, Tweaky. Morning, Tweaky. Good to see you. Hopefully you're well. Spartan 7. Morning, all coys. We got Kate Rickson's in the house. I'm okay with the heat. Florida was 40. I quite like the Florida heat. It's quite lovely, and there's air conditioning everywhere. Morning, Shem Tang, YouTube member. Morning, Mr. Benjamini and Abedini. Hopefully you're well. Good to see you. And we've got Paddy saying, morning, folks. What's this something people talk about? It's a myth in Ireland. I think it is as well. I think it is. Let's get into the first bit of news. It broke literally 2 minutes before we went live. So it was really helpful. Tottenham have released a new kit.
They have indeed. They released the Argentinian kit.
Yeah.
It's not bad. I just hate Nike. I don't like Nike. I think their kits are atrocious half the time. What I like about it is the AIA colour. I can't see why they just don't do that blue on all the kits. Yeah. It would make the kits look so much better. And I just don't.
Cleaner, wouldn't it? It would be cleaner.
It would. Yeah. It just, when you look at the Tottenham kit, like you look at this one here, yeah, right. You got the yellow, which is on the new kit they just released. You got the black. You got the white. Then you got this stupid red there that just looks completely off. Now, don't get wrong. From a point of obviously advertisement, it stands out. Red on white, it stands out.
Yeah. It's also because AIA is a company from the Far East, and red is a big color in the Far East. They love that color. It's the color of wealth, and it's a good color it's a lucky color in the Far East, and that's why. What was his name? The guy that bought Cardiff. What was his guy that owns? He still owns Cardiff. It was one of the reasons why they changed Cardiff City's blue to red, because red is a very lucky colour in a lot of the Far East.
It ain't lucky for us, is it?
They really want red on their kit.
Yeah, but the red ain't lucky for us, is it? Vincent Tan, is it?
Yeah, Vincent Tan, that's the one. But that's the reason they want red. But in regards to the kit, there's one thing I despise on this kit. I hate it when the badge is in the middle for Tottenham. It looks dreadful. Tottenham always looks best with the badge on the right, or on one of the pecs.
Yeah.
It always looks better that way. I hate it. I hate it when it's in the middle. I don't think how many Tottenham kits have ever had the cockerel in the middle? Not many of them. There's been
no.
I think the Coq Sportif might have done one in the middle years ago. But what does everyone think of it? I hate it when the badge is in the middle. What do you think about the badge? It's crap, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It really is bad. And for me, I don't see why we do that. You know, everyone sees that the badge is on that side. You know, you look at majority of clubs, the badge is always on that side. Putting it in the middle, it's kind of taken away from what a kit represents. The badge is always on your heart. Do you get what I mean? That's what it's meant to represent. That's why the badge was always put on that left side on your pec there. And yeah, again, I just don't see the point. I don't like it.
Kits that work with that badge in the middle, isn't it? Barcelona, it works well. Liverpool, it works well for. There's a couple of clubs that had their badge in the middle, but it's mostly Barcelona. But Liverpool have their badge in the middle all the time. So it actually worked with Liverpool. I don't like it. What does everyone think of the new Argentina Spurs kit? I know they're deliberately trying to make it Argentina, but we got a couple of comments. Paddy saying 150 euros for the elite version. Football is no longer for the normal working. It hasn't been for a long time, Paddy. 150. It's going to be 120 pounds for the elite one in Queen's money or King's money now. It's ridiculous money, and that's just for the shirt. Imagine the shorts will be another 30 quid. The socks will be another 10. It'll be 160 quid for a kit.
It's a joke. It's a joke. And like I said, for the normal person, Paddy's completely right. For the normal working person in a time that we are in now, it's ridiculous. Now, you'll get them people who are, about 16, 17, mummy and daddy buying them the shirt, and then they'll come on the Twitters and all that and go, well, if you can't afford it, that's your problem. It's not about that. It's about the masses. You're one in a million that are struggling in life. Just because mummy and daddy are helping you out with everything doesn't mean everyone else has the same luxury. Or if you've got a really good job,
well, not everyone's got that luxury. David, it's probably made in I'm not gonna what's it called? Where the factories that are made at, but they're probably made in factories really poor working conditions for very little money, and they're selling it for ultimately maximum profit. That's the reason. They don't need to be selling it for it to make a profit. I don't know how much one of those shirts makes. It probably costs £5 to make that shirt.
Yeah, it does.
And £5 to make that shirt, and they're selling it for 150. That is greed. That is. I'm saying I love capitalism. Capitalism is great. It's about making money. Work hard, make money.
But they're not working hard.
Capitalism, that's greed. There is a difference between capitalism and greed, and that is unacceptable levels of profit. But we got Aki's in the house, and fortune is what it represents. Good to see you, Aki. And he said good morning to everyone. What's your thoughts, Dave?
Yeah, well, if you look at it, though, if you look at a certain website that a lot of the fan base know about and use, and you look at the prices, you could buy pretty much an identical replica of that kit for such a drop-down price. How much do you think they are making it for? If them can make it to a T, look exactly like the original, if not sometimes better, then you know what I mean? It shows you how much it actually costs them to make it and then sell it. Now, don't get me wrong, I understand. You know, Nike bought the thingies to obviously, you know what I mean, have the ability to make it and everything. But overall, it's just atrocious. You know, from a business standpoint, it's fantastic because the majority of people are going to pay for it. They're going to make millions and millions and millions and millions off it. For the masses of people who are like, you know, not well-off families who can't afford to buy themselves one, their kids one, a family of Tottenham supporters, they have to move to them, them certain websites to be able to afford the kit so they can support their club. Like this is a legit kit from the club. My partner bought it for me. I've never bought a kit in my life. I won't give Levy the money. I don't like it.
MZ's trying to keep Levy in power.
She's a West Ham fan. What do you expect? But I will tell you though, I've seen some of the kits from that certain website, and like on this one, the old school one, yeah, look at that, lovely. If you see, it's all worn off and everything. I've barely wore it, and it's all worn off.
Yeah.
So you're paying loads of money, and half the time the badge is going to fall off anyway.
The original one, I've got the Champions League kit of 2008 when we first got into it. The sponsor came off immediately. I hadn't worn it for years. Absolutely washed it. Sponsor came off. It's because the quality's rubbish. The quality is rubbish on them, and it's just a transfer. They've stamped it on with like a heat press, so it's never going to last.
Yeah.
But
No.
what does everyone think of this kit? What I'm going to ask everyone. We'll give you a 0 out of 10. What do you rate it out of 10? From Nike. I wish we had a picture. We should have put a picture up of it, but who cares?
I can get one.
Who cares?
Yeah, I'll leave it.
Yeah. Excuse me. Good morning, new legends.
Big up, Sean.
Levy going to business. He's making money. It was also because of the NFL, as well. I heard Drain Bagel got a new one off his buddy DL for the change of heart, supporting him now. DB.
Oh, Paddy, you're on that list, mate. Paddy, you're on that list.
You just made the list. James is giving it a 3. Brian is giving it a -114. Okay.
I respect it.
1. Preferred the first shirt.
No, that looks like moldy cheese.
It does, doesn't it? We've got one decent kit, which is at least the home kit is really nice.
That's nice. I rate the home kit. I like it. Yeah.
The home kit reminds me of when I was. It reminds me of my first year of going to the school Clawtic in Barkingside, and that was the kit we wore. I love that kit. Absolutely adored it. 2. The people do not like this shirt. People don't like this shirt. But on the next piece of news, clubs are finding a PSR and FFP loophole. I saw that Everton and Aston Villa traded a player with each other for some stupid money. But I think now Chelsea have bought a player from Aston Villa, haven't they? This is them giving each other money, isn't it, to make their accounts look good, isn't it? It's unacceptable.
Yes, it's clever. It's clever because what they're doing is technically not illegal, but as they're overinflating the prices of players, well, look who recently got done for that. And that was Juventus. Recently got done for overinflating the price of players. Now, I just recently seen, I've been trying to read up a bit about time to learn it, but obviously there's not much about this at the moment because it is a new loophole. The player, I think, that Aston Villa bought of Everton, he was valued at around about 850,000. That was his value. They bought him for 19 million.
Yeah.
Which then Chelsea bought a player of Aston Villa valued, I think, was around about something like 2 million, something like that, or $1 million. And they bought him for 20 million. Now, it's clever, but it's a loophole that isn't, I think, in the long run, isn't going to help them. It really isn't, because we know what like the Premier League's like with these type of FSR, PSR, all this type of rubbish R's. And I think it will catch up with them. I think it will. They're doing it purposely to cook the books, for obviously that deadline they've got to where they've got to make sure it balances out before that. This is clever. I agree the rules are very stringent on teams. Like Villa got into the Champions League and then have to sell some of the best players because they have to balance the books. This is a way of doing that. It's a loophole, but doesn't necessarily mean it's a fully legal loophole. It'd be nice if
they just, instead of exploiting loopholes, they just built a good football team and didn't waste money.
Yeah, that's what it is. Run your clubs better.
Straight up.
Yeah, just run your clubs better. You know, you look at all these other clubs, you'll look at someone like who's been in the league for a while, but actually hasn't done the books or anything. Trying to think now. A Brighton. Yeah, you look at a Brighton, right? They came into the league and they did it properly. They bought players, they created players, they bought cheap players, built them up, sold them for a lot of money. For me, that's how you want to be. That's a proper club. If they've done something dodgy, I don't know about, I never heard about it. So if they have, apologies for saying this, but I'm just using them as an example. They're doing it properly. These clubs finding loopholes and then working together in some sort of like circle to cook the books and make sure they don't get done by PSR. Like, well, just run your clubs better. Why are you trying to find loopholes? If you didn't try and force the issue and push transfers within your club stupidly, then for me, you wouldn't have to do this. They complain, well, we're in the Champions League, we have to sell our best players. Well, yeah, because you bought too many players, spent too much money to get into the Champions League. So it's like, you know, you can't rob Peter to pay Paul. You can't do that. And this will bite these teams. It will. And the Premier League will put a stop to it.
Not years.
Yeah, exactly. And it'll come back to
Rajat he's a Man United fan. He's got a picture of Cristiano. Go compete now. It's really difficult. We've got Jesse. Good to see you, Jesse. Hopefully you're well. I still hope you guys buy Joe Rodon, but I've heard Joe Rodon is being touted by Leicester now.
Yeah, Premier League clubs are looking at Joe Rodon. I would love him back at Leeds. I rate Joe Rodon. I like him being Welsh and everything. And what he did at Leeds was fantastic. I think Leeds, he should go back to Leeds. And I think apparently we're trying to do a deal with this Alcaraz from Southampton. Never heard of the kid. He's rated at 30 million. We want to give 10 million for Joe Rodon and some sort of hash out a deal for the rest of the 20 million. So yeah.
So cool for Scotland, made me laugh though. We'll get on to Scotland in 3 minutes or so. Edu Guerrero settings, lie, cheat, steal. If you're not cheating, you're not trying. If they are not trying, that their fault. That's the Premier League. They leave loopholes. I want to agree with you, and it is true, but it's just not in the spirit of the game, is it? It's not in it. It's so bad, isn't it? It's not Spurs. It's a disadvantage for us. People are talking about Spurs are definitely going to find some rubbish like this. But the problem is Spurs don't need to do this because of that dastardly man Meek Mahan, in the words of Matt Hardy. Because they don't need to work at doing stupid ways like that because they've already got money. But that's the point. They've got the money. Flex your muscles. You can do it because you're making so much money, footballing wise, and in marketing and all the outside activities. You can flex your muscles. You can do it. You can do it. You can buy a really good player, and it won't do that much. Instead of screwing over other clubs, he's screwing over our own fans. Bang on the money, mate. Bang on.
That's the thing, though. If like a lot of people are kicking off for this, I've seen Liverpool fans, I've seen United fans, and everything flipping over this. I'm sorry, if their clubs were doing it, they would be silent. Yeah. And the same with us. If Daniel Levy was doing this and finding a way to cook books and do stuff like that,
we wouldn't know. We wouldn't be silent, though. We wouldn't be silent.
We wouldn't know, obviously, no.
But anything Levy does, yes, let's go, mate.
Yeah, but you know,
out. Yeah.
But with them doing this, just like, do you remember when I think it was Newcastle wanted to, like Wolves sold, I think it was Neves, was it, to a Saudi club, and then Newcastle wanted to loan him from the Saudi club.
Yeah.
And that was looking all like it was going to be that type of situation where they couldn't afford the player, so they sell him to them. Their Saudi club owners buy that player into a club there. They loan him from that club.
Oh, what was it? Neves, wasn't it?
Yeah, Neves. Yeah, it was Neves. Yeah, and a lot of the clubs basically, went against it and said they shouldn't. You know what I mean? They shouldn't do it. So for me, this is going to be the same situation. I feel like that a lot of clubs are going to come in and they're going to complain about this because the rules are there for a reason. They're there for a reason. And you start finding loopholes and everything. Think how many clubs now who come into the Premier League and are going to try and find loopholes. And it's like, then where does it end? Where does it end? Where it's going to become to the point where it's going to be so strict within the Premier League, it's going to be
The
bad.
only person that's going to be able to run it is a genius financial mind rather than a football club.
Exactly. Yeah, that's it. It is. And, at the end of the day, right, we all want clubs to be able to spend whatever they want so they can get the best players in. These players that have been bought for these obscene amounts of money from what the value is, the issue with that is these players are never going to get played. They've, in theory, ruined their chances. Because they're not being bought for their talent. They're not being developed. They're just being bought as a way to do PSR and stuff like that.
It's going to ruin these kids' careers, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's such a shame.
About these kids' careers as well while they're at it. But we will probably try and look at doing a bigger PSR show and trying to talk more about it because I am not good financially. I don't understand anything about this stuff, but I do understand football. So we will talk about a football game. So we will talk about Scotland. That's heart. That was typical heart. That was heartbreak, wasn't it, for Scotland last night? All this, I think they hyped themselves up too much, didn't they, David? A lot of people saying they could finish above Switzerland in the group. Switzerland almost topped that group. Yeah. Switzerland are a very decent side, and what's your thoughts on the Scotland game? It was. I don't want to be cruel because I am an Englishman, but if the shoe was on the other foot and that happened to England, they would be laughing their heads off and you'd be able to hear fireworks out my window. It was upset. That's mad, isn't it? That's a typical kick in the nuts, isn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely. But I can't really say much. I can't take the mick out of them. I can't slate them because my country didn't get to that far. They got further than mine. So it is heartbreaking, but at the end of the day, you got to perform at these. And unfortunately, Scotland just failed to do that. They were overhyped. Yeah, I believe that. They were overhyped. Everyone thought they were going to go far. But yeah, and unfortunately, they are now going home. And if anyone bought their kit, you've still got time to return it. You can still get your money back.
28 days. 28 days.
28
guys.
days, yeah.
But if you haven't got a name on the back of your shirt, then you can't return it because that is personalisation options.
Yes, that's it. But as well as we got to send our thoughts to Vega as well with that clash against with the Scotland keeper. That looked nasty as hell. Apparently, he's got a fractured skull and he's got a concussion. So wish him well on that one. Like, bad one, mate. Bad one. And not going away from obviously the game in itself, like things like that. Varga, that's it, Tweak. Yeah, apparently he's conscious now. Yeah. He's got the support around him. Obviously, they've still got to keep an eye on him, but he had a fractured skull and a concussion. So, yeah, scary things because that's like career ending. You look at Ryan Mason.
Yeah, Ryan Mason.
It's scary. It's scary.
I have to see how he's doing. Hopefully he gets well. So I've been completely and utterly out of the loop, so I didn't see it. Mark is saying the sheriff is in the house. If England win the group, we got to play the second team in that group. Is that Switzerland? Is it indeed Switzerland? For a moment, I was worried we'd be playing Germany in the next round because if they finish second and we finish top, that would have been like only us could do that. Yeah. But what's your thoughts as an outside fan on this game? Potentially England versus Switzerland in the next round. That's a tricky game for England. People they don't really see how good this Swiss team is.
No, and for me though, with the issues that are going on within England team at the moment, the whole Gary Lineker drama with Harry Kane and that. I'm sorry, Gary Lineker, who the hell are you to talk?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, what did you do for England?
Nothing.
Zilch. What did any of these players who sit in a room, with a microphone like I'm doing right now, talking utter rubbish, calling the team, the word, and criticising the hell out of them? Yeah, they're not doing well and everything. The last England team to win anything, had a West Ham captain dragging them through. Yeah, right? In Bobby Moore. The players back in that day.
Ralph Ramsey, a proper Tottenham boy leading the charge. My guy, Ralph Ramsey.
But they're criticising him. But England, with the Wayne Rooneys, with the Linekers, with all these players who sit there and criticise this England team, what did you do? You didn't do nothing.
Yep.
David Beckham's and everything. These best players in history that everyone rates and talks about couldn't do nothing. But you're going to sit there and criticise the hell out of them. It's not solely down to the players, right? Yeah. When you got a manager who's using a right back in midfield, you got a manager who's playing players out of position because he wants to experiment.
This is the old guard protecting one of their own, isn't it? Protecting Southgate when it's his fault. It's putting all the blame on the players when none of the blame goes on the players for the way they play football. It's the way he sets up a team. It's the way he sets up a team. The only reason we didn't play well is because we haven't found a spiritual successor to Calvin Phillips. What?
You got £100 million midfielder sitting there. You got a Ballon d'Or winner sitting there. Has Bellingham won the Ballon d'Or?
No, he hasn't.
Sorry. Well, anyway,
he's going to be nominated for it. That's what's
nominated anyway. Yeah, so you got that. You got a 30 goal scorer up front.
40.
You've got a 40 goal scorer up front. Yeah, you've got a player who sat on the bench who won the Golden Boot in the Premier League.
Yeah.
You got a left back who's injured, so you're using a right back when there's other English left backs you can use there, but he's still injured.
They refuse to bring.
Yeah, and you tell me it's down to the players.
I said this on my personal Facebook yesterday. If I was Tyrek Mitchell or any of the Rico Henry's another one, all these good left backs that are playing at the moment, Chilwell's another one as well. I think he's injured as well. If Southgate is the manager after the tournament and they keep him on, I would refuse to play for him. Just like what's his name? Ben White has done. Ben White refuses to play for this manager because of Steve Holland, because of some of the things he said to him. Lineker needs to go back to shitting himself on the pitch because they really need to learn a lesson in humility. When you've not done it yourself, don't tell other people they should be doing it.
Yeah, exactly. Because
they're just protecting their mate Southgate. That is all this is. It's protecting their mate Southgate because they love him.
Yeah, it really is. And the other thing as well, and I completely agree with what Kane said, the players see this, the players hear this, yeah, right? Now, clearly the players are completely underconfident. You've seen that. Their first game, you had Bellingham, who was an absolute pressing monster. The second game, he couldn't get anywhere. He was a ghost. They criticised, this is the funny thing, and this is what annoys me, yeah, right? They criticised Harry Kane for staying in the box and getting 2 touches within the first half of football because he stayed in the box like a typical 9.
Yeah.
The next game, he's dropping deep to get more touches, then they're criticising him again. So basically, all you're doing is effectively just finding any way possible to criticise Harry Kane and put the blame on him. When you got Trent Alexander-Arnold allowing players to run past him, you got a defence that's got a makeshift right back playing as left back. Yeah? You got tactics that are utterly disgraceful. Southgate tactics are pathetic. You can't go to Euros with tactics like that. His ability as a manager is like Lampard at Chelsea. Ex-style players are not good managers. I'm sorry. They're that young and everything. They're not good managers. Southgate got the job because he missed a penalty in England and he felt sorry for him. It's pathetic. I'm sorry. It's just ridiculous. And these ex-players, ex-pros who sit in these rooms criticising them and saying stuff like that, well, you were the same. What was your excuse? What was your excuse to not do anything in the Euros with arguably some better players? Beckham was one of the best players.
Paul Gascoigne.
Where's that excuse? Yeah. Where's your excuse? No, but it's easy to criticise because you're no longer there.
Yeah.
You're no longer there, so it's easy to criticise these players. And it's pathetic. Exactly, Paul. As Paul's saying there, Luke Shaw is injured. He was injured, right?
He didn't play the entire season.
No. And now he's been taken because of what? He can't play. So he's took up a spot that any other player can go there. There's plenty of left backs, English left backs in the Premier League that could go and fit in that position. Trippier doesn't work because he's right-footed. So every time he receives the ball from Gay, he's having to either cut back and pass back because he can't play down the wing. I'm not even a manager, and I can see that's tactically inept using that there, and especially when you're going against some of the best players in the world.
With Guahi, perfect example. He's been playing brilliantly next to Tyreek Mitchell all year. So keep it going. Those two play together. It's another bit of synergy. Those two know how to play with each other. Put them in, slot them in.
Exactly.
Stones and Walker play with each other. Synergy. It means you can work together. It means you've got that Spain team, the best Spain team ever. I will run over for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
The reason they were so good is because half the team were Barcelona and half the team were Real Madrid. They knew how to play with each other. It's not like, I've got to learn how to play. No, they just slot in. They play with each other.
Yeah. That's it. They do. But Southgate, again, because he's inept at being a football manager, that's where the issues arise. He doesn't put players who should be playing. Put Cole Palmer up on that right. Sorry, Saka's a good player. Yeah, he is. But he's not doing anything in the Euros. He's not doing anything. So try Palmer there. Yeah. Put Foden in her more preferred position. And I'm sorry, right? And this is not because he's an Arsenal player. Bellingham and Rice in your last game were dreadful. You're talking at least £200 million worth of players, right? Who are some of the best in the world, and everyone hypes up and everything. Shocking.
Southgate is playing Declan Rice well too deep because Arsenal plays really high up the pitch, and Bellingham needs a free roll. Just let him do what he wants.
Yeah, exactly.
It's simple stuff. It's really football is a really simple game when it comes out. It's a really simple game. And it's been overcomplicated by a waistcoat wearing, Marks and Spencer's, I don't know, prawn sandwich eating.
Yeah. I don't understand how he's still manager when you've got this crop of players and you see some of the amazing talent England have. Now I'm completely biased. I'm biased with this because I'm Welsh, right? I would love to see England get knocked out. I'd laugh for it. Yeah. But I'm not stupid enough to see that if England had a better manager, they would be doing bits in this Euros.
They would be. Imagine we had a manager let's say Ange Postecoglou. If Ange Postecoglou was the England manager, we'd be fantastic. Because he'd just say, right, lads, attack. And it would just attack. And he'd have all those attacking players and just be attacking.
Yeah, and the thing is with England, they have the players to do that.
Yeah.
They have the quality to be able to handle that type of situation where it's just get the ball, attack, get the ball, attack. England now, pass, pass more, keep passing round, lose the ball, everyone's running back, people falling over each other, blah, 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 concede a goal.
It's another one, Poch with this England team.
Poch would be fantastic with this England team, without a doubt. Honestly, here's a point now, right? England could sack Southgate right now, Go and get a championship manager, right? Put a championship manager now in, and England next game, without even any training, would play better than what Southgate is producing right now. Fact, it really is. He's terrible. I don't see. I don't get it. I don't get why he's still there.
Yeah. And that's the totally unbiased opinion from the Roadman. But that is it for us on Morning Brews. We will be back later at 7. Oh, what time are we doing Evening Brews tonight? I know we're doing it. So it's going to be the Kauff and The Roadman on Evening Brews tonight. Or
I have no idea. What time do you want to do it? You pick. You decide. We'll figure it out. We'll randomly pop up.
We'll just pop up and just go, hey!
Hello, everyone.
Let's go. But thank you all so much for watching today's show. Have a great rest of your day. And as always, if you smell what the Kauff is brewing, thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Ciao for now. Tottenham.